Greetings to all of you, or as I love to say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of our Creator, of Allah, be upon all of you. So I just posted this verse, this statement that comes from the Creator, the one that brought this universe into existence, that says, if I were to first state it in Arabic, فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون. To remember me. So just for the sake of simplicity, God, for those who use that term, is telling us, remember me, I will remember you. It's so weird because when I was first reflecting on this verse, just very shortly this song came to my mind that I had never made a correlation, where the woman was singing, I will remember you, will you remember me? And of course she's singing to a person, a human being, and she's questioning, I will remember you. Will you remember me? It's like she's not sure. She knows she's thinking about this person all the time, and we know how that is when there's an individual that we're drawn to, that we are attracted to, and they just keep coming up in our mind and our heart. We're talking about them, we're thinking about them, maybe we're writing about them, whatever it may be, taking up a lot of space. But then there's always that unsurety, is it the same? And sometimes we straight up know, or a person even could be thinking of us, but they know it's not on the same level. It's just not. And then we have Allah, we have our Creator, we have God telling us, remember me, I will remember you. There's no doubt about it. There are even really specific narrations that as I'm speaking, I will see if I can pull it up. Because as usual, this is not planned. This is just what is coming up for me to share. But where it's understood that if there's a group of people who are together in a gathering and they think of God, and they specifically, and again, I specify the one who created the universe, Allah. Allah has attributes and qualities that the God that many people believe in do not have, which is why I prefer to use the term Allah. There are many people who say God, but the God that they're talking about, they believe wrestled with a man and lost. There are some who say the term God, they believe in God, but for them, God is able to be depicted in an image, in a picture, in a photo. God can play or be represented by an actor, such as in movies like that of Morgan Freeman. God can, for some, be painted on the Sistine Chapel, on a chapel, as a white man who is scantily clad and old, and not much bigger than Adam, whose finger is touching his finger. So I understand that can be confusing for some who come from a tradition that may interpret something as God made Adam in his image, meaning God's image. But our understanding of that is God made Adam in Adam's image. So Adam was not a baby that went through gestation and then was born and then became a toddler and was crawling and then took his first steps and then became a teenager and then became an adult. No, he was made as a man, period. He was made in his image. And this is the thing, that when we're dealing with scriptures that have truth in them, we have to still be careful when we know that they have been tampered with and they've been changed. So it's not a desire to reject truth. No, it's a desire to filter through the truth that has been mixed with falsehood. So going back to this statement where Allah is saying, I remember you if you remember me. And there's a narration that mentions that if there's a group of people and Allah is mentioned in this group, whether we're talking about the love of Allah, whether we're talking about the generosity of Allah, whether we're talking about whatever perfect qualities that Allah has, or anything that comes up that's in relation to that remembrance, that Allah says, I will remember you in a congregation that is better than that. He will mention us to the angels, which is pretty powerful, extremely powerful. And I'm still wanting to look that narration up. I think it is a hadith Qudsi, which is a specific type of narration. Let's see. There's also in this, if I recall correctly, in this hadith Qudsi is the remembrance that is the reminder that if a person mentions or remembers Allah, remembers the one God that brought this universe into existence, that does not have human-like qualities or limitations, if we remember that God, if we remember Allah within ourselves in silence, that Allah remembers us within Himself. I want my own mind to be blown. Like, I want to speak to such a point that I'm reminding myself of how incredible this is. That this is not something to take for granted. If a person, for example, so a lot of you know that I massage, right? And I've massaged different people who have a lot of access. They have a lot of access to the best. And if they, for example, as has happened in a gathering, mention to someone and say, oh wow, Hasna is amazing. She has the best hands. She's so good at massage. Like, I've never had a massage therapist better than her. I'm going to feel good because they're remembering me. They're mentioning me to someone else. And they're mentioning my qualities, right? And this person, again, maybe there's someone who many people like or many people appreciate, or they have some prestige or they have some power. But this is one person that is going to die. This is one person that cannot take nothing and make anything. Even if we are, from our imagination, bringing things about by Allah's will, Allah is the one that made that energetic matter, that frequency, that when I ponder on something and think about it, then that is brought to me somehow. Allah made those laws. Allah made those universal laws and rules that that we're discovering and learning more about. So it's not just in the actual physicality that we can bring things toward ourselves, but it's in the metaphysical as well. And we're learning that. We're learning that this is fact. However, it all still goes back to Allah. So we put a lot of emphasis as human beings on what our connections are like with people. And do people remember us? Will they remember us? But Allah is letting us know, I will remember you. I do remember you. And it's how can we comprehend? How can we feel what that means? That this is one that is all hearing. This is one that is all seeing. This is one that does not need to sleep. Just that by itself. All of us have to go to sleep. Can we comprehend what it is like? What it would be like for anyone to have the ability to never sleep and be rested and be, not be rested, sorry, and be all powerful and all capable and all aware. So what I'm saying is, when we really understand who is Allah, and that Allah, even in all of his might and all of his power and all of his ability, and this entire universe is a microscopic speck in comparison, and there is no comparison, then we understand what a gift we've been given. That at any moment, there's almost a portal that opens up. There's this connection that we can establish with the one that created this universe, that created and was the cause that led to everything we are in awe of, that led to everything that we are amazed by in this world. So some of us are amazed by a beautiful home. Some of us are amazed by nature and the beautiful nature that exists in its raw form. Some of us are impressed by the beauty of another person. Some of us are impressed by certain types of fashion or clothing. Some of us are impressed by what a person has obtained of status, or their knowledge, or their academic achievements. And that's fine. But ultimately, who gave them that? Who was the cause of all causes? Who was the one that gave them the ability? Who gave them that brilliant mind? Who was the one that gave the designer the mind to create the idea, and the people who had the hands and the sweat and the tears and or the joy in making that item of clothing? Who was it who made that landscape? Who was it who, Allah, the creator of the universe and all of its laws, the one who originated that, brought into being everything that led to that which we love. Everything that we admire is a result of a cause that was brought about by Allah. So for us to have access to that one, for us to be able to ask that one for guidance at any moment, and to say whatever we need to say to clear whatever doubts, whatever unsureties, whatever uncertainties we may have that have been instilled in us, that have been indoctrinated into us, that have come from whispers, that have come about by design. It's not a coincidence that every time you see a movie or a documentary or what would you call it? Some kind of series. Yes, there are people who have manipulated spiritual guidance for their own benefit. There is no question about that. But to now see that religion in every form, in every shape, any type of guidance is being presented as if these people are idiots. Like, you have to be stupid. Like, seriously? Like, seriously, in 2020, you actually believe in some kind of religion? Or you actually are affiliated with something that is so manipulating and so controlling? Because freedom has gotten us a long way, as you see. I mean, let's look at the world today. Let's look at the world that we're living in. This Aleister Crowleyan influenced world of do what thou wilt. Listen, we're all going to, on some level, explore boundaries. We're all, on some level, going to test ourselves and see what is out there. And we're going to make mistakes. And the beautiful part is that we're made to make mistakes, actually. We're not made to be perfect. But what we are made for is that return, to keep returning back to the one, to keep asking the one that some of you may call God for guidance. And you can forget religion for a moment. Just forget religion. Forget Islam, forget Christianity, forget Judaism, forget Hinduism, forget Buddhism, forget, some will not say it's religion, but forget Taoism, forget Confucianism, forget all of it. And just start with the knowledge and that seed that is inside of you of awareness that we call the fitrah. It's a seed that has been planted inside of every single person before your soul was put in this body. You made a contract. You made a contract with the Creator. And you will recognize that in yourself when you hear this. There's a part of you that knows that you made a covenant. You made a contract with your Creator. And part of that meant that you were going to surrender to God. You were going to surrender to your Creator to the best of your ability. That is inside of every one of us. That has been encoded inside every single one of us. And so is this natural desire for people to surrender and submit and worship, because you see it everywhere. Everybody's worshiping something. Everybody's giving themselves, themselves to something, to someone, to some cause. Everyone's doing it. But the point is that a worthy cause? Is that going to give you answers as to why you're on this earth? Is that going to give you the peace that you can never get from material things, that you can never get from all of the entertainment in this world, that you can never get from the hedonistic pleasure seeking? Because when it's all said and done and you're sitting alone and you're not distracted by phones, and you're not distracted by people, and you go within yourself, are you at peace? Is your heart and mind in equilibrium? فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ. Remember me, I will remember you. The beautiful part about this is it's immediate. You can feel it. You can feel it. Most people, including myself, are lacking in this area of taking the silent time, not just for general meditation, not just for, I'm just going to sit in a general silence, a general quietude. No, I'm talking a specific silence where we are directing ourself and our intention and our inner voice and perhaps our actual voice toward the one that brought all of this into existence, and saying whatever we need to say, whatever we feel, but establishing that connection. The connection could start now. It could be you who brought all of this into existence. You don't have to say that, but you could feel that within yourself. I'm confused about such and such going on in my life. Like right now I'm at this stage in my life where I desire balance, and I desire to come into balance in so many ways, and I'm having these specific obstacles. And can you guide me to the most important balance that is worthy of having? Can you help me in my connection to you? Can you purify me from the things that are holding me down or bringing me to a place that's not benefiting my mind, my body, my soul? Can you show me how to most use the gifts that you have given me so that I can raise the vibration of this planet, so that I can help those in my own family, so that I can help myself first and foremost? Whatever is going on, if you have doubt, if you're just not even sure, if you're an atheist, you have the beginning actually if you're an atheist, because you probably have never been exposed to a creator God that does not have human-like qualities and limitations. And it makes sense that you would reject a God that is supposedly vengeful, It makes sense that you would reject a God that doesn't have the power to protect himself. It may make sense that you reject a God that is not merciful and that is not kind. I myself am open to truth. If truth, me asking for truth led me to believing that God came on earth, for example, and died for the people's sins. Honestly, if that is the truth, then I want it. But all of my research and all of my opening up my heart and all of my asking for guidance led me to the conviction that this was never something that Jesus taught. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. That was never something that he taught. Never. When you look historically at those who have actually studied the New Testament and the history of the Trinity, you will see that this is not something that Jesus taught. So my whole thing is, I just want truth. And sometimes in this world where everybody wants to believe that everything is the same, there is this watering down of what was previously deception. So someone comes along with a political agenda, decides we're going to destroy original teachings, we're going to add in teachings that we want, because Constantine, for example, wanted to rule over the pagans or polytheists and wanted to rule over the Christians. The best way he could do that was to combine the teachings, and through that, a lot was destroyed, a lot was lost, things were added in that Jesus never taught. It's really simple. And it became spread. Why is this important? Why is this important? Because we cannot have proper affirmation unless we have some level of negation. I understand there are some people that want to believe that there's all types of realities and that everything is true. I'm not from those people. Okay? I'm very open. I am extremely open to many ideas and hearing those ideas. And that's why I've already gone into certain areas and done my research. But to bring it back to the heart, because I believe there's a balance between the mind and the heart. The mind, your mind, a person's mind who hears me may not be convinced, and that's okay. I don't need anyone to follow me. I don't need anyone to be like me. Please don't be like me, because I have a lot of issues. But do go to the one that brought this universe into existence, that made that first spark from which everything else followed, that intelligence that's beyond anything we could imagine. Go to that on a regular basis. If you remember that one will remember you. If you remember Allah, Allah will remember you, and you will feel that connection that is being built, irrespective of scripture, irrespective of whatever the mind may come up with to keep you from doing so. Just try it. فَاذْكُرُونِي أَذْكُرْكُمْ وَاشْكُرُوا لِي. And the next part of the verse is saying, وَاشْكُرُوا لِي, and be grateful. There's other verses that I love that I feel most verses in the Quran, honestly, they have a universal application. It doesn't really matter if you're Muslim or not. It doesn't really matter if you've ever picked up the Quran or not. It has universal applications and universal awarenesses that resonate with the soul that is seeking truth and that is open to truth. So, washkuruli, Allah is telling us to be grateful. Why? Is it because He needs our gratitude? Is the one that brought this entire universe into existence in need of us to be grateful? Or is there a benefit for us? Well, we can see another verse that says, وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, that if you are thankful, I will most certainly, absolutely, definitely increase you. And we know that in all of the positive psychology, self-development worlds, that is something that is mentioned, the importance of gratitude, being grateful, showing gratefulness, and how that is a means for happiness, that is a means for peace, that is a means of joy. And then those who are dealing with Amin wa Iyaki Bashira, and then when it comes to those who are in the more esoteric worlds or dealing with the laws of the universe, they say that one of the ways to bring abundance into your life is gratitude. It's very compatible. It's extremely compatible. And that's why I have a hard time just completely distancing myself from the ways of thinking and the approaches that are coming about in this time, because there is some truth in it. And to just completely reject that and to completely ignore it, it actually closes off opportunities to build connections so that people who may not have been aware that similar teachings are established and they're in the Quran, they wouldn't otherwise know that. But now you have this bridge where we can all recognize that whatever tradition we're looking in, we're saying something similar. Not everything is being said the same, okay? Not everything is the same, but there are certain key principles that are the same. And I feel like that brings power, and that is beneficial for both sides, or all sides, for all of us to get into that state of gratitude. But then Allah is saying even more clearly, God, the only God that originated the universe, the only one that creates out of nothing, the only one that has no limitations and no human-like qualities, that I'm calling Allah, that Jesus called Allah, that Muhammad called Allah, that one, don't get caught up in the name if you don't resonate or you haven't really gotten comfortable with that name. The source, the one that brought all of this into existence, is also saying to us, وَلَا تَكْفُرُونَ وَلَا تَكْفُرُونَ. Or really it ends, وَلَا تَكْفُرُونِي. Do not deny me. Don't deny me. Don't say that I don't exist. Don't deny me in all the different ways that people are denying Allah, denying that one in this time, which part of it is this assimilation. God is me. I am God. This is what is going on today. We are negating by assimilation. We've assimilated, or at least we think we have, assimilated the supreme qualities of the Creator, of the one who originated the universe, the heavens, the earth. We've now said, well, that one created, I create, I co-create. Yeah, we do co-create. Yes, that's true. Even like earlier scholars like Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, I believe it was, even he said that we have the khuluq, I'm saying it right? Khuluq. We have the khuluq of insan, of people, the creating of people, and we have the creating of Allah. So Allah, God, creates in a way that we cannot and will never, ever, ever be able to create, and that is from nothing. Absolutely nothing. And then people are able to create from what is there. Two different types of creation. In that sense, we are co-creating. I get that. However, none of you were there at the beginning. None of you were there before that first speck of space and therefore time, according to time-space continuum. None of you were there before. You weren't there. Period. You weren't there. And let's just say I wanted to entertain the idea that, oh, some essence or some aspect or whatever was there, which I'm not. But let's just say even if you can't even remember. And you still can't create out of nothing. So you're still limited. You are limitless within your means of, meaning you will keep going and going and trying and attempting and doing and being and all of that until you die, and you'll never reach the limit of your potentiality. That is for sure. You will never reach the limit of your potentiality. So in that sense, you are limitless. But when you're talking about in regards to the creator, you have limits. You have limits. Because every one of you has been complaining about something in your life. Every single one of you. Every one of you gets tired at some point and sleeps. And if you don't sleep, then you're complaining about that. Oh, I didn't get a good night's rest. Oh, I don't feel the same. I have not yet met a human being that doesn't sleep and then on top of that is functioning properly during the day. You have limits. At some point, most of you want to eat. At some point, most of you are urinating and releasing bodily fluids if you eat or drink, etc. At some point, the elasticity in your skin is not exactly as it was when you were a little baby, as much as we may like for it to maintain and remain that way. And I could go on and on and on. So this whole thing of I'm limitless, I think that it does a disservice to people in regards to the reality of their existence when they are comparing themselves or when they are connecting to a creator that brought this universe into existence. My mother made a point. She said, I've never seen, and there's never been a period of time like now where the religion of the day is calling to yourself. There is a religion, and notice people always say, oh, we don't like organized religion. Oh no, of course not. We like disorganized religion. We like the religion that is chaos. We like the religion where everybody decides whatever they want, and if what they want is detrimental to others, it's okay because then I can just do what I want to do. If that makes any sense. Like if you understand the point that is being made right now. So there is a religion, because a religion is this set of precepts and rituals, and yeah, everybody's worshiping something. People are worshiping the status quo. People are worshiping the ideas that are given to them in the mainstream. People are worshiping their gurus. And what we've been called to by the original first creator of the universe is to only worship. And him does not mean male in the sense that we know, but only to worship him. That's it. If you're going to surrender yourself to the one that brought all of this universe into existence and cares about you and wants good for you and is saying, come closer to me because I want to take care of you. I want good for you. Your soul is meant for eternity, and I want you to have the best eternity. There's so much to share. There's so much to share. And I definitely have more to share in the future. But that's just a few points that I wanted to talk about. First of all, that if we, based on the sources I'm taking from, if we remember, again, I'm saying God. I don't really like using the word God, but I'm just for the sake of that flexibility. God, meaning the one without anthropomorphic qualities, the one who is all powerful, all aware, most kind, most gracious, most merciful, the one who has qualities such as being grateful to us, which I will talk about in the future. This one is there for all of us and wants all of us to benefit from that connection. That's the funny part. Worship is aligning. You align with something when you worship, right? So when you worship and surrender yourself, and ask for guidance. Asking for guidance is a type of worship. So when you ask for guidance from the one that brought us into existence, from God, the God that has no human-like qualities or limitations, you are now aligning with the highest, most potent, most powerful, most abundant energy that there is. You're aligning with a path that leads to one that does not need you, but wants you to be connected so that you can reap the benefits. And so this is a reminder to myself with everything from salah, from staying away from things that are not good for my soul and that I can feel are not good for my soul, because sometimes some of us, we just hear it. We're like, oh, that's not good for my soul, I'm not going to do it. Some of us have to do it and we're like, okay, I've done it. Now I know I can feel it. Like everybody learns differently, right? But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. And yeah, that remembering, making a time in the day. Again, yes, I'm a Muslim woman. Yes, I am convinced of the Quran having abundant, beautiful guidance. But even if you're not, that's okay. Take the time daily, a reminder to myself first, to establish a connection with the one that brought this universe into existence. When you find yourself wanting to go to that guru, or wanting to go to your mama, or wanting to go to your friend, or wanting to go to a man, or wanting to go to a woman, or wanting to go to someone because you're going through something and you want love, or you want someone to hear you, or you want, first go to that one. Ask for the guidance, ask for the assistance, ask for the nurturing, ask for the peace, ask for the contentment, ask for the medicine. We love to talk about medicine woman, medicine man. Ask for the divine medicine. And then be open to where you're guided, to which person you may end up talking with, to which book you may end up reading, to which article you may find yourself coming across that has the exact nugget of information or knowledge that you needed at that moment. Okay? And then the second thing is to remember washkuruli, be grateful, not just general gratitude. Again, this is not just general gratitude. This is specific gratitude to Allah, to the one. This is what we're being called to. Not to just be grateful in general. No, be grateful to the one that is the cause of all causes. To be grateful to the one that gave you sight, that gave you hearing, that gave you breath, that gave you a mind, that gave you all the abilities that you have. That's the one you're grateful towards. And then we're told, if you are grateful, you will most certainly, absolutely, definitely be increased. That's another verse in the Quran, okay? And then, وَلَا تَكْفُرُونَ, and do not deny. Don't deny. Don't deny the one. Don't deny by saying, this God is in me. When I ask for guidance, I just go within myself. You yourself can't even find where to go without your GPS. You can't even find where you need to go without picking up your phone, looking on Google Maps. But somehow you think in every aspect of your life, you're going to go inside yourself. Seriously. Like with the physical material world, you're relying on a device more often than not to show you how to go from point A to point B. But with your inner spiritual world, in regards to your soul that is living for eternity, you're going to just go within yourself for that navigation. That doesn't make any sense. And you know it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that thought. Anything that I say that is incorrect, it is from myself. Anything that is good is from the one that brought us all into existence. It is from Allah. It is not from me. So any spark of awareness, any seed of anything that you feel right now, I want you to be thankful to Allah. That's it. Not to me. I want you to be thankful to that one, and I want you to transmute that thankfulness into having that one-on-one time with that one, with Allah. And try using the name as well. I would say try using the name. Oh Allah, I've never called you that, but see how it feels. See if it resonates. Does it resonate to say, oh God, or does it resonate to say, oh Allah? Does it resonate to say, oh, fill in the blank, whatever. Oh, universal consciousness. Oh, you who brought this whole entire universe into existence, or oh Allah. which feels better? Let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Lots of love to all of you. If any of you are on Instagram, feel free to add me at High Vibrational Hasna. Also, I am on YouTube, not posting as regular as I would like, but hey, why not let people know they can subscribe? Also, High Vibrational Hasna at or on YouTube. So thank you so much for listening. It is an honor that even one person would spend time, precious time that we'll never get back, on these expressions. And whether you're having an evening, an afternoon, or a morning, I pray that it is a blessed, beautiful, good one. Lots of love to all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.